Hello dear student, in this video we will learn next point, that is about connection and a command object. In that we will first discuss about this, what is a connection in ADO.NET. Now connection, you know that to establish database connection we require one object, that is for the connection object. So with this connection object we will establish a connection to the database, and after that with the help of different set of commands we will access that database. So connection, it is very important one. Without establishing connection we cannot access any kind of database. For that we require some information. This information such like, for example, database server, then type of the server, database name, connection type, whether it is Windows authentication we are using, then no need of the username and the password. Suppose we are using SQL authentication, then we have to provide username and the password. So some basic information we should provide while establishing a connection. Now this connection class is used for different providers, just like SQL Server, MS Access, MySQL, or the Oracle. These are some examples of this connection. For that we require the namespaces that we have to add before accessing this connection. So for example, if we are establishing with the SQL Server, then we have to add the namespace as in system.data.sql client to your C# page. For MS Access, we have to write down system.data.oledb. For MySQL, MS SQL, we have to write down system.data.odbc. Oracle, for Oracle, we have to write an Oracle client. The same way, we have to create the connection object for SQL Server as an SQL connection. For OLEDB, that is MS Access, that is for the OLEDB connection. This is an MS SQL actually, MS SQL, then you have to write down ODBC connection, and for Oracle we have to write down Oracle connection. Now how to create a connection? In last chapter already we have seen it, just as you can see it is a revision of this point. So in connection to an ADO.NET database, first of all we are discussing mainly about the SQL connection. So write down this namespace, import this namespace by using system.data.sql client. Then you can use the classes which are included within this SQL client namespace. For other databases, same like that SQL client, you have to write down these namespace as an OLEDB, ODBC, Oracle client. Now there are two ways that you can add this connection to the web pages separately, or you can add this connection to the web.config file. Now what is the difference? If you are adding a connection string to the web.config file, then that will be applied to all the web pages which are available in your web application. That already we have seen what is a web.config file. It is one of the configuration setting file, XML file, which are having a setting of all your application. That we have seen which are the different system.web, that how to set it, how to set authentication with the help of this web.config. Another one, that for database connection you can add with the help of this connection string some basic information you have to provide within this connection string, and then your connection will be open for all the web pages which are present within that application. Suppose you are using 10 web pages, available 10 web pages in your web application, then all these 10 web pages can access this configuration with this help of the name provided over here. So just you have to write down the name in your web page, and then you can access it. Just we will see the example, and even I have told this one in the some last videos. So one way, that another way that you can specify within a web page itself, web page C# coding. But what will happen, suppose in web form 1 I have written that code of this connection string, then that connection will be available only for that particular web page. If you are trying to access the same database for the another web page within the same application, that will not be available. So every time you have to write down this set of code, you have to open the connection. So it is a time consuming one, as well as it will consume your network. So better way is that use if you want to use this database for all the web pages, most of the web pages in your application, then write down in the web.config file. Now what information we have to provide in web.config file? Then write down connection and the connection string. Within this tag, write down add name in tag. Now here const r. Now this is a name that you can provide as per your convenience. Just you have to remember this name. This name you will open, you will use this name into different web pages to open the connection. Now the next one, connection string. Now here you have to provide the connection string. Now we know some parameters such as data source. Data source means whether that data it is a local one, remotely one. So it is available on your local machine or it is available on the remote client. According to that you have to specify the name of that machine. Then initial catalog, this is about your database, name of the database, and user ID and the password. And here also you can specify the provider name here, or you can import that provider into the pages where you want to access it. So provider name is system.data.sql client, from where you will get the different classes. So this is one way that you can specify this connection string into web.config file. Another way that you can pass this connection string directly in the form of the constructor into your web pages. SQL connection is equal to underscore con. So here con, suppose we have specified, is equal to new SQL connection, and in that we have to specify the parameters. So here another parameter you have seen, that integrated security is equal to false. Integrated security we have seen, if it is a false, then we are using a SQL mode authentication. If it is a true, then we are using this Windows authentication. By default, when we create a database and we are not using SQL authentication, then that integrated security it is set to true. Now I will not explain all this part, already we have covered this one. So suppose for the first case, if we have stored connection string into the config file with the name as a const r, then in web page what we have to write down, string, take a string variable and assign with this statement as an system dot configuration manager dot connection string, and here write down this connection, name of the connection specified in this web.config file dot connection string. So in short way, you also write down here as in a system dot configuration manager dot or in bracket const r dot connection string. In next video we will see the example of using web.config as well as using simply directly accessing through the web pages. So it has to be specified for web.config file, and after that just create a connection with the new SQL connection and specify the string variable between that. Means first of all use the system configuration. For that you have to use one namespace as an using system.configuration into your web page. Then after establishing connection, you can open the connection, you can access the connection. Same for other databases, OLEDB, ODBC connection. Now which are the properties of connection object? Connection object properties are given over here. Let's see it one by one. First property, attribute. It's used to get or set the attribute of the connection object. Then command timeout and the connection timeout. It is for that it will specify the timeout, that is number of seconds that we have to wait for execution of this command, and same for the connection timeout, how much time we can wait for the connection to open. Then connection string, that we have already know, it will specify different parameters to connect to a database. Cursor location, it is a default location where it is connected to your database or the table. So it shows that just like a read only mode, the first row, first column, that is your default location. or if you are specifying with some clauses, that is by having some condition over there in this SQL query, then according to that the cursor location of that particular point will be get changed in your table. So this is about the cursor location. Then default database, it returns the default database name. Mode, that is access mode, whether you are just reading a database, you are modifying the database. Provider name, that is SQL connection, OLDB connection, or Oracle connection. State that whether it is a currently open connection, closed connection. You might have seen that in Visual Studio, if it is connected one, then it is the database is showing in a green symbol. If it is a disconnected one, there is a red cross symbol. Then version number, it specifies the ADO.NET version number. Now these are some methods of the connection object. Among that we have used some method just like close for terminating the connection, closing the connection, open for opening a connection. Then we have seen the execute query, execute non-query actually. This is one of that form. Execute, you can execute the query. You can open the schema with this open connection. Related to the transaction, we can start the transaction with the begin transaction. Commit transaction, that complete the transaction. If it is successfully executed, then this command will return the true value. Then rollback transaction, that if there is some conflict, there is some error, then it will come back to the original position. That is about the rollback transaction. So this is about the connection object. Already we have run some program about this, making the connection with the help of web form as well as and with the help of this web.config file. Just go through these old programs, and even I will make a new video on this connection point. In next video we will cover the command object. Now we will stop here, and thank you.